Good time zone, everyone. Welcome. We're going to do a Throne of Eldraine best of one draft. We've got 5,000 gold to buy in with. We're not going to spend any gems today. We're going to get some back no matter what. And that's going to be super exciting to continue pushing this number higher. Well, you got to draft more and spend our resources. If you have resources to spend on physical Magic stuff, you know where you're going to take it, though, right? CardKingdom.com, and you're going to do so through the affiliate link down below in my panels, because that lets them know you got there from me. Card Kingdom is my sponsor, of course. I very appreciate muchly their support of this stream, their support of my Magic content over the years, and they do a lot of cool stuff that your typical Magic retailers do not do. If you want to go to the Card Kingdom blog, you can learn about a product I'm going to be previewing in about an hour. I'm going to paste it in the chat here, but basically they have a set called Lumeria, the Great Divide, which is a handcrafted designer draft experience, and basically it uses pre-existing cards but has been designed and repackaged kind of like a modern set, a masters set made by Card Kingdom themselves. And they did one last year and it sold out and people loved it, and so they're doing it again, and I'm going to give you some previews in about an hour of some cards that are in there. So that's sweet. Hey, Comrade Cards, that's awesome. Thank you, Comrade, letting me know that they made a purchase at cardkingdom.com through my affiliate link, and that makes me all warm and fuzzy. Thank you. Anyway, that's going to come in about an hour, but we're going to start this draft and hopefully get a game or two in before then, and then we'll talk Lumeria, the Great Divide, a Card Kingdom drafting product. So we'll be back for that in a little bit, but let's jump in. Thanks, Card Kingdom. Thank you, Nantuko. Wow, look at this powerful pack. My goodness. Everything but the beloved princess is basically solid here. Solid to great. Excuse me. Hey, Foil King, had a good weekend? Yep. Amazon let me know stuff is coming to my house. Yeah, right. Can we just do sealed with this? This would be incredible. Sealed, taking Serpent, Conrad, Well, Pie, and Young all for one deck. Woo! I really like Rimrock for the red deck. This is I've had some success with black red Knights since the bot update, and this is obviously great in that. Fëanor is pretty off the Lochmere Serpent, sounds like, but I think this is too good. We have to start here and see where it goes. This is just so good, right? Well, I can pull this, but like, what do you think even the choices are? We have Serpent. We have Conrad, we'll call it Grim for Conrad. We have Pie. We have Rim for Rimrock. Maybe it seems easy, but like, people have some different opinions here. I'm going to respect that, and we'll take a look at see what people are thinking about. I don't think you can justify the Lance as a 2-color card here, but I'll put Cauldron down too. I think these are the realistic choices. I think playable gems is where it's at, but you can even vote as though we're not doing gems here if you wanted. Just curious if you think the Serpent is so good you're not even looking elsewhere. It is 2-color, though it's splashable. Although splashable, and then you kind of lose half of its effect value. All right, we'll take the Serpent, but let's not get married, shall we? Let's just date the Serpent for now. Shieldbreaker is strong in the heavy red aggro deck. It's basically always a target of some kind. Keep it around as a shatter that becomes a 2/1. Hypno. By Hypno you mean fairy? You mean animating fairy? Hypnotic fairy is a different fairy, right? Or is there a different Hypno card here I'm not seeing? Yeah, we can take Animating Fairy. I'm just trying to... I just don't want to fall into it just because we're blue-black and making sure that we're not passing up. But there's nothing really great here. Guide Mother's fine. Breaker's fine. Transformation is fine. But this is the best blue card. Resonator wants Runaway. We'll take the build around in case it gets there. We could abandon it all and take a Rampart Smasher. I mean, there's no playable blue here, and the black isn't that good. I mean, we could take a Tempting Witch or a Foreboding Fruit and stick to our where we've started. But we could also take Smasher and see where things go. Yeah, since it's only costing us a Witch and a Fruit, I think we take Smasher as the best card in the pack. Obviously, we're not playing Smasher and our first two picks, but we'll see where we end up. At least I don't think we are. Is there some crazy world where we're heavy red, splash blue, or something like that? There's a Ratter. It's okay. I guess it's red. This is just a bad pack. Unless we want to go Guide Mother. It's too early to pursue that. I don't even know if I play Weapon Rack in the Animating Fairy deck. It feels like Fancy Play Syndrome. It feels like playing a bad card to try and make it good with a good card. But yeah, I don't think Ratter is actually that good here. We probably, if we're speccing again, right? But one of the white cards, these are not good for picking. So it's either Guide Mother or like a Skewer if we wanted to, we could animate this. This is something that can get can be animated. I don't think we want Guide Mother. Raiders also probably wheels. I think I'm going to take... Trouble is like all these we expect all these to wheel, but yeah, Skewer is interesting because it works with a Serpent Fairy start. This is okay. I don't love this card, but it'll probably wheel. Skewer should... That's the thing we keep saying, like everything we might want should wheel. Ratter's... I'm down. Yeah, I'm pretty down on Ratter. Although we do have Animating Fairy, we could end up blue. I'm going to take Skewer. Move on here. It was not an easy pick, though. Witching Well is a nice, easy animation target. I think better for a blue deck than the Witch's Oven, which also could be animated. We could take the Oven in hopes that we end up with a cat. I did that over the weekend. Ended up with a cat Oven deck. It wasn't that good, though. I'm glad we don't have the Ratter. That whole strategy is whatever. I think we just take the Well. Speaking of whatever, there's a Festive Funeral. We could take Paladin in the event that this really skews heavy blue, and we're just kind of splashing Serpent and maybe Skewer or something. Prized Griffin may be the best card in the pack. There's some okay green, but yeah, I don't know what else there is to do besides take Festive Funeral, and that seems bad. So we'll take Paladin. Weak packs in general so far, I think. Here we have another Paladin. And blue has increased in priority so much for the bots. I'm a little bit nervous heading into it, but we could take another Paladin and be heavy blue. We could take a Swordmaster for sure. Swordmaster's fine. This is not going well. Yeah, this is a pretty ugly draft. I think I want to take the Paladin and lean into heavy blue. Runaway together is good for that as well. But we'll see. Maybe I just don't see much heavy blue anymore, which is what makes me worried. I definitely draft with the bots in mind at this point, and I feel like heavy blue is the wrong path with the current bots. Green spec on Carver.
Some say I never heard of ya. A rap burglar.
Well, I certainly don't like the Ranger here. Thank you for that sub, by the way. We could spec on Carver, but man, Paladin is solid if we do end up heavy blue. But if we don't, yeah, we'd rather have something else. We could take Runaway Together. But I guess let's take Runaway Together as the more generically playable. If we end up in two-color, like, yeah, I get spec on green. We have Rampart Smasher. But we could still end up green and take the Runaway Together, if that makes sense. Like, this is just a solid card. Does some stuff. And it keeps us on our blue path more solidly. And I think we are blue. And we can keep an eye on the green. I'm going to take the Runaway Together. I don't think the Carver is enough better than Runaway Together to justify taking it in that spot. Yeah, blue might inevitably disappear. But we can take another Skewer. I don't really like two Skewers. Yeah, these packs are just terrible, right? They've not been impressive at all. Well, now what do you want to do? I'm going to pull this one just because it's so bad. A 20-second pull on a second Skewer. Or a Spider. Or a pair. Yeah, I could put Red Cap in there too. You can vote Red Cap and I'll eyeball it if you think Red Cap's the right way. I don't think Cottage is correct. But if you like Red Cap, we can consider it. Huh. Well, there you go. That's interesting. Almost nobody wants another Skewer. And there's some support for Red Cap, but we're basically split between pursuing some green right now. I think if we end up, this is ugly, folks. I certainly don't want to be blue-green. Like, that's never where I'm in my head trying to be. I guess Curious Pair I'll take, because if we do end up blue-green, we can turn one, make food, and animate it on turn 3. Yeah, we do have a good splash target, although not going to be sacrificing many swamps. Hey, Rob, thanks. Yeah, we're closing in on the first year. We'll take a Curious Pair on spec. Don't know here. All right, this is our stacked first pack that wheeled. Check this out. Okay, this is why now I end up in red. Like, this is the new Secret Keeper. Wheeling Rimrocks is like the new Wheeling Secret Keeper. You can just force red and know you're going to get something decent. But we have dipped into green a little bit. We can take an easy Cauldron. Let's just take Scaldron. It gets animated by the fairy, and I think that's a little more worth it than the Tree Folk. Yeah, Scaldron goes in any deck, so I'm going to take that over the Tree Folk, which is also tempting. And it's also tempting, frankly, to take Rimrock and try and push red. Brute cannot really be animated, but if we already have the Giant Skewer. My stance on Brute is still that I don't want to play it just as a one, just without support. I still think of Brute as a build around, but we do have some support for the build around nature of it here in the Skewer. And if we end up green, we may end up with another opportunity at one of those Tree Folk. And Festive Funeral continues to underwhelm me, so we'll take the Brute. This was the only blue card in the pack when we saw it the first time, so at least good news to see it still here. Not that it's a powerful card, but it is still here. Yeah, we could take that. I think I'll take it over Tall as a Beanstalk. Yeah, I'm thinking we're maybe not black-blue, though, is the problem. But here, we will take the Weapon Rack. Possible combo, even though I don't love it. It's okay. We have other. I much rather prefer the Scalding Cauldron, the Witching Well, the Skewer. These are the Curious Pear food token. These are the types of things I want to animate because they're on cards that are good on their own. Weapon Rack is only really good if you're animating it, and I don't like that. But we'll take a Brute. Well, we'll take a Pheasant here. I don't know. It's close. Still don't feel like we're actually that close to being green, so I'll just take Ginger Brute. Oh, Cardboard Live is off. Sorry here. I had a restart. Let's turn that on. Roving Keep. No, thank you. Murderous Rider making the case to swing back towards the old black-blue. Pretty strong case, really. Yeah, not passing that. Oh, now we have Drown the Lock and Epic Downfall. I think we take Downfall and maybe try and wheel the lock. I don't know if it does, but maybe. I think this is a little more straightforward, less work. This actually, requires some setup before it does its thing anyway. Probable Alliance, you're too late. Although now that we're veered back into black-blue, this pack is pretty dead. We could take, Out Muscle. I guess we just take the Witch. Yeah, we can take Gems. This pack is so weak, we should absolutely just take the Gems. Witch is fine, but nothing to take over Gems there. Heck, we can have, it's like the same pack. Yeah, should we, cut? Yeah, Witch creates some food for animating. That's fair. Certainly not taking the turtle, so what else are we doing? Taking that removal. I don't like that removal, although I'd like some different removal. I'd like some better removal. Scavengers is fine. Barrow Witches doesn't really do anything for this deck currently. Can't even get back our best Knight, because the Knight dies to the bottom of the deck. We take Wicked Guardian. Yeah, I guess we just take Scavengers. I'm overthinking it, although we already have a 6, that's the thing. But still probably the pick. Interesting. We have a nice 2-drop in Malevolent Noble. It can come down on 2, and we're happy to do it. We don't have a lot of card draw. We have Witching Well. You could argue that Serpent draws cards, but we don't really have any other card draw, so we can just take Into the Story for the card draw. Or, of course, there's Reaper. This is a decent Reaper deck. Looks like we're trying to go long and play an attrition game. I think I'll pull this one. Into the Story is pretty tempting, but it's not like... I think of Into the Story from the Secret Keeper days where it was trivial to cast that for 4 mana. This is going to be more like a 7 mana in this deck, I think. So keep that in mind. But we'll say Story, Young, Noble, and Reaper, and see what y'all think. Curious about this one. Look at it curve again here. A lot of support for the Reaper, some for the Story, some for the Noble. I like the Noble pick because it slots in it too. Noble would have 7 if people got their votes in on time, Krauser. Wow, close one. Good poll. I can just take the Reaper, but I feel like that's wrong here. I feel like we're going to get our chances at Reaper, even though we're pack 2. We might even wheel this Reaper. I'm going to go with Story. Overriding, overruled. I think Reaper might wheel from there. We'll see. Yeah, this is maybe an opt pick, but it's pretty lousy. What else are you going to do, though? Yeah, I don't want to play Jousting Dummy in this deck, I don't think. It's not doing enough at 2. Oh, yeah. I mean, you can really just force red now and have a... why the hate for opt? I usually end up cutting it. If I'm not drawing 2, if I'm not trying to trigger a draw 2, it usually is a little bit too wheel spinny for me. But it's playable. It's just not important. It's pretty unimportant to me whether I play or don't play an opt. So, I'm going to take another Paladin. The Murderous Rider asks us to play a lot of black. If it weren't for the Rider, we could continue towards this heavy blue strategy, and maybe we still do. Yeah, I'm kind of ignoring the red now. We can take another Paladin and really just try and be a 12-5 type deck, except that we cast Murderous Rider pretty late. I think we take another Paladin and get a little bit risky on our mana with a Rider. Queen, I've been pretty unimpressed with the Queen as the thing, and 3 Paladins is a plan. So I'm going to keep on the Paladin plan. Right on, Torpid Ninja. Glad you're checking out Arena, and hope that you visit the stream as much as you can and pick up some tips, etc. Sanctuary, I guess, is okay here. Especially if we end up in a 12-5 type place, we can actually play that. I don't think we're playing a turtle. There's a Carver. You know, green was pretty open this draft, but we're pretty far away from green now. Although, honestly, like, Tempting Witch, whatever, Giant Skewer, whatever, we like our removal spells, but we could take the, I'm going to take the Carver. Like, we could end up green from here. So I'm going to take it, just because I don't think we're going to play the turtle. Sanctuary does not work with adventures, no, Rob. A third Ginger Brute or a first turtle. I'll take the first turtle at this point. I don't think we need that many Ginger Brutes. Youthful Knights. This is why also, yeah, red-white is where I end up a lot these days. The bots just don't seem to care about those cards. I'll take a Scarecrow, though. I hope we don't play it, but we could. See worlds where we do. Okay. What was that, Raptor? What'd you say, Raptor? What should we do, Raptor?
I'm certain you're quite charmed to meet me.
Not really. We're all pretty tired of you, actually. You can grab a Hypnotic Sprite here, though. Maybe we can be blue, like prioritize some eggs or something, and just splash Oko and Serpent. Charm Sleep is good. I was just going to take Hypnotic Sprite for the 2-for-1 potential, but yeah, I don't think I want to take the banner either. I get it. It is a mana rock of some kind, but it's a mana rock for 1 color. It's not really the plan yet. I'm gonna not take the banner. If it tapped every turn for any color, I would take it. But the fact that we have to choose whether it's going to help us with black or blue or green makes me not like it here. So I'm gonna take Charm Sleep. Saw this another uncommon fairy. Kind of hoped it was going to be another animating fairy. It's not, but we can take yeah, we can take Sir Eleonora, but you could also take just the Sprite. I think I will ask the team on this one. I think this is pollable because I don't know which of these actually helps our plan better. You could even take Well. Let's go Sprite, SYR for the knight, or well if you just want to go for the well. Probably cutting the giant skewer. We really want to be heavier blue. That makes me want, like, the well is appealing because it might be another target for animating, but we might wheel the well. Heavy support for the sprite. I like Sir Eleonora, but I'm kind of in for the sprite plan. Another Charmed Sleep. I didn't say please, but I think we just want the removal rather than the counter. I'm going to worry about what black we're playing when we get to the end of the draft here. Let's take Steelclaw Lance and splash more. No, we'll take another Scavengers, really? I don't think we can do another Scavengers. I don't want anything else here, though. I think it's more likely we play a dummy than a Scavenger, so I'm going to take dummy. I mean, we have a Scavengers already is the thing. And I don't think I didn't even see Tracker because we're not going to be heavy green. We're not going to be green-blue in the Tracker way. We're going to be green in the hope we cast Oko way. Hengewalker will be pretty solid in this deck. It'll be a 3/3 for the, you know, for the most part. I think Oko is instant gems, yeah. But all my accounts had max Oko. Yeah, Sanctuary number 2 is interesting, but I think Hengewalker actually fits what we're trying to do. Although we're a little crowded at 3, too. This is best of 1. No signals worth sending anymore. We're in pack 3. The bots are doing what they're doing. Anyway, back to this pick. I think it's Hengewalker or the land. I guess I'll take the Hengewalker here. Because at its core, it's a creature with an alternate thing on it. That fundamentally, what the card is a creature card. And it's a creature card with an ability, basically. Runaway versus Sleaze. Yeah, we'll take first Runaway. Some interaction. Oh, we have a Runaway altogether, so it wouldn't be the first. But I still think it's probably the pick here. I mean, you take Griffin, but it's so underwhelming. We have a late game. Like, what's the job? What's Griffin's job? Whatever job you would ascribe to this, we're already doing that in this deck. Block flyers? We can block flyers. We have 3 Vantress Paladins that we're likely to make 3/3s. Yeah, it's like they just killed the mill deck, which is basically what we asked for, I guess, but it's a little more complicated than that. We could take Malevolent Noble as a playable 2, but I don't know how. We're not trying to be that black. We might rather have Forever Young. Yeah, that's the thing. Blue is very hard to draft now because of how they upped the priority on the Secret Keeper stuff. So, again, with this, I think I'm going to... We just don't have a lot of creatures, though, that we want to play. I mean, we got stuff like Merfolk and Ginger Brutes that I'm not super excited about. But I guess getting back we can get back our own Lockmere, but I'll take Forever Young. It's better as a late card. Like, I'm not playing so much black that this is going to be a reliable 2-drop, so we'll take Forever Young. Here's a Sanctuary we can grab again. This is where I don't mind taking a Queen. Rider's never getting played. We'll take this Prophet. I think blue's the worst color on Arena Eldraine right now, yeah. Another bad combo piece. Not a bad grind on the day. 100 gems for that. We got a complete vault, and we got 6 cuts to make. Probably cutting the skewer. Let's look at our numbers too. 16, 12. I think we're cutting the witch. You know, I mean, we could just do this. If you really wanted to get disciplined here. Do something in this neighborhood. Can we not play the rider and live with ourselves? It's also, we're in an awkward double splash because we have no fixing. So we may just have to even like cut the black or cut the Oko. Or we run 2 swamps and 2 forests and hope. It's a little pretty awkward that we got no fixing. Okay, I would need to go turn off the furnace and take an initial bio break here. So, oh yeah, that's true. We do have, let's put in the scarecrow to keep that in mind. It might be the thing, the pivot card that allows us to consider this. So consider what you want to do on the splash front, and I'll be right back to finalize this deck. Hello, everybody. This is annoying. What do we do? Yeah, we totally needed an egg. We needed a couple eggs. Oko just wins games. Yeah, but it tends to win games definitely better on the early game, but it can win games even turn 7 or whatever. think we can be, especially if we run the Signpost Scarecrow. Let's see. Let's cut the rack. Yeah, turtle can go too, right? We could add Rider. I'm less inclined to play Rider here. If we're gonna play both our splashes, like at least this, like maybe what we do is this. And I think we do cut one Sanctuary. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So you can still be a 12-5 deck. Could even be a 11. You could be an 11-6. The double splash, really awkward double splash that's leaning on Signpost Scarecrow a little bit. Cutting Rider is tough, but I don't know if you've noticed, but Murderous Rider requires 2 black mana to cast, and we are running 3 swamps and a Signpost Scarecrow. Is it really? I mean, your plan could be cut Oko, cut the green, put 3 more swamps in, and then have Rider instead of Oko. Yeah, that Brute's pretty rough, isn't it? I really don't like the Brute doing nothing here. That's an interesting suggestion. Just go to 18 lands. Cut Scarecrow, play Rider is, frankly, Wang Lu, terrible advice. I mean, cut one of the things that can help us actually play the Rider and then play the Rider. I think I'm going to run this. Let's start here. We can come back and make changes. Let's see. What do we call this? Quite the conundrum. I don't call it panache. Let's just call it power. Right? I mean, to suggest that it's consistency over panache, Mad Olaf suggests that we're being, we have some fancy play syndrome here. It's not fancy play syndrome. Oko wins limited games. So, yeah, I call it greedy. Call it power. I don't call it panache. It's just a power play. All right, let's start here. See how it goes. Come back and make changes. Again, if I were not streaming, maybe I'd spend more time trying to find the perfect setup here. But I think this is close enough for now. Get some updated info. Can we keep this? We're not doing anything until Paladin. But we have to keep. Fiddles wants to mull. I can't throw this. Wang Lu thinks it's an easy mull. Maybe Arena's been so aggro, you could argue that I should have considered a mull more carefully. You know, we could mull Oko. It was a real choice. I mean, we're not doing like we're hoping to find something to do before 4. But if you're 100% to that your first play, that your first action in a Magic game of limited is going to be on turn 4 on the draw, that's not usually good enough. It's going to be what we're doing. And fortunately, well, we'll see. Do they have anything to do here? All right, we got very lucky that Oppo didn't have a 3. If Oppo had a 3, we'd be really punished for this slow start. Oh, thank you. I'll get the scenes fixed. There we go. Let's get over there. Hypnotic Sprite, you're just a touch late. Well, we'll go Paladin now. I'm not going to mess with my layout right now, but I'll take that into account for future considerations, Silo. Yeah, we got very lucky. We should have been punished hard for this start. As it is, you know, not that hard. Gonna have to run away together the Sir Alan, though. That's a problem. Trying to decide that we can play Walker and even just play the 2/1 flyer. I think I like Walker, keep, run away together. Yeah, we could do Sprite, return it. That's true. Similar. Yeah, let's do this. And we gotta run away before combat, or else they just replay. Huh. Well, that changes things. Now I'm going to look to double block Sir Alan and try and get a 1-for-1. And, well, we'll have to take a hit this turn. Oh, yeah. First strike would mess that up, wouldn't it? Okay, so how do we stop Sir Alan then? Yeah, we'll do this on blocks. I'm just trying to figure out what we do about Sir Alan. I guess we have to trade 1-for-1 with the Carver instead. Then what do we do? Then we're trying to find Oko to convert it. Do we want to, because we could send the Paladin back. We could trade the Walker for the Carver, block with the Paladin, send the Paladin back. Yeah, let's do this. We're gonna trade for 1 creature. And basically this play, all told, keeps us from taking any damage, tries to do a trade. They could have something here. They have a very spell-heavy color with all the adventure creatures in green-white. Can't counter Fox? Why can't we counter Fox? With Sprite? Oh, right, because they're going to play it this turn. I see what you mean. I just mean that, yeah, sorry. Yeah, they're going to replay it. Well, we're closing in on Into the Story, which is good, because maybe it'll get us the tools to deal with Sir Alan. Hey, D, Thanksgiving was pretty good. Thank you. 5, 6. If we play Paladin, then we can't counter a 3. But if we don't play the Paladin, I think we're probably gonna have to play the Paladin and just trade for the Fox and really hope that we find something into the story. Maybe a green source that allows us to Oko Sir Alan. This is not great. Yeah, I think we have to do this. And I don't even know if it's worth holding up this counter. Yeah, I think we have to play it out because we're going to need like into the story for help. And if we're going to into the story for help, we need some chump time. Getting a bit run over here. It just would have blown us out more. I mean, they haven't really shown that a trick. Like, they didn't have a trick last turn. They must have just drawn that because they could have played it last turn. Now I think we're chumping and casting into the story. Honestly. If we can find green, what we can do though is drop a Merfolk and Oko and elk up the Sir Alan, and then that should put us in a pretty safe spot. Yeah, Swamp and Epic Downfall. We have some outs here. We for sure have some outs. Good food, good friends, good family, and mental time off. Answers, please. I don't even know if we have enough now, even with the answers we're seeking. Okay, that is not the absolute end of the world worst, and we can get something back for next turn with the Sanctuary. We can sleep Sir Alan, obviously very important there. So let's start with sleeping Sir Alan. Yeah, I probably just get another into the story, and then we can play. Well, let's see how many we can't play. We can play 2 creatures. Both of them can block those 2, so that's good. Yeah, Dummy and Merfolk. Well, if they've got nothing but air, this is land, land, and land on top. We're fully stable. Let's see what they've got, though. It doesn't look like it's air. Looks like they got stuff. Don't kiss. No kissing. Kissing is not allowed. Oh, that would be brutal. Not quite as bad as the kiss, but probably bad enough to kill us. Yeah, this draw is no longer good, although we could still find an Epic Downfall, which would save us. We're not dead. We're not dead.
But your friend here is only mostly dead.
Ready for the downfall draw? Here comes. Boy, we had some outs. Good outs. Well, our deck is bad with some really spiky, powerful rares, and we didn't get to cast our spiky, powerful rares. Oop, that's not what I'm trying to do. No, I'm going to give it one more try as is. That wasn't enough info to just abandon it. Oko is a high-risk splash, and when we land Oko, we're going to win games with it. Yeah, we'll keep. We get to go first. Let's drop a Scaldron. Sanctuary's a little awkward here. I want to make sure I get this Hengewalker on 3 adamanted, so we're going to go ahead and drop the Sanctuary here. I'm with you, Raptor. Yeah, a little weird how they're going about marketing non-arena stuff on Arena. Yeah, we'll just play Paladin. Stay back on D here. We've got solid blocks for both their creatures now, and a Scaldron at the ready. I'll trade Walker for Raiders. And probably Scaldron for Rimrock, if it comes to it. Oh, they have a Trick. Oh, yeah. This is kind of where I want to be these days. Boy, we are not having the best of drafts here so far, folks. We're also far away from doing anything remotely with the... We have 3 cards in hand we're not even close to casting. So that's fun. Yeah, so we got to Cauldron the Raiders, but then the question is, are we blocking the Rimrock? Yeah, let's block Raiders, and then... okay, they're accepting it, so we're going to Scaldron here. They were patient, and they're going to get us again. Three, four, five, six. We just dead? All right, well, if they specifically have nothing else, we're not dead, but I assume we're dead. Honestly, this whole draft would have gone much better if pack one, pick one, I'd just taken the Rimrock Knight. Well, I certainly would have understood that things change in terms of, like, would I have predicted making that statement week one of Eldraine? I mean, Rimrock Knight always looked pretty good, but as a function of I'm not making any change. Whatever. I kind of hope we just lose this and we're done with this shitty deck. Excuse me. There's my one PG-13 moment for the day. Well, now we got to keep this. I don't think we need to double down on anything. I think our reasoning for how we built this deck is fine. It's just, it is what it is. We could play this Sprite, but I like having the counter. I'm going to be greedy and hold on to the counter. Huh. They don't want to do anything. Well, we can continue to leave up Hypnotic, or we can run out the Paladin. I guess we run out the Paladin. We'll get something with the Sprite. I don't know. I think this deck is not super great. It's not well aligned for this meta, for one thing. Let's start here. Well, that's an awkward thing to want to keep in our hand, but I actually am going to keep it. That's a tough one, actually. Do you keep the forest for potential Oko, or do you look for some action? If I toss this, we're going to draw Oko next and never see another green. All right, I'll keep it. It's a bit greedy, though, I think. Don't need to show him yet, either. Fenor says, you can't base your decisions around drawing one card in your deck. I would argue that it does depend on how you think the game is going to play out. We seem to be in a control battle here, where we are likely to see more cards in our deck. Of course, you could use that logic to say, therefore, you're going to get one of your other forests to cast your Oko when you eventually get it, so that wasn't even needed. I'll show him the double here, whatever. And I do think we're going to get a 3-mana spell with the Sprite, and that we're not in a hurry, so I'm going to continue to play this like we're control, not aggro. Here we go. We'll counter that. It's something. Oh, we just played? Good game. Which deck did you have? I've lost two quick ones, so I'm not sure which was yours. Yeah, we could have played the queen out, I guess. I don't know what I'm waiting for on her. You have the deck we want. This deck is this deck has problems. Well, we just got put in constant have to block situations and you had a trick every time. We just never... I mean, I don't think it's that interesting. It's just like... Hey, look! Ryan gets blown out by 4 tricks in a row. And that's game. Definitely going to lock down Sir Alan, our second Sir Alan. We seem to be facing Sir Alan all the time here. Good news, everybody. We get to draft again. What a wreck. 0-3. Guess we'll attack for now, though. Well, certainly going to keep dumping lands in case we find into the story. Library counts just don't even matter right now. Let's not worry about library counts, please. Good news, everybody. We got our splash colors. This is embarrassing. Whose deck looks worse, ours or theirs? Ah. Sure thing, Raptor. Sorry, I thought you were talking about decking. 23 to 22 is library count currently. Gotta love it when my viewers get all results oriented on me. Looks like we're gonna get blown out by a trick. Is this like an onboard trick? Must be an onboard trick. No, not an onboard trick. But this clearly is something. They're itching to cast that. Probably the +2/+2 adventure creature. So I'm gonna go ahead and double block. Then if it's outflank or if it's adventure creature, we still get our 1-for-1. Or it becomes a 2-for-2, basically. I think it's Squire, though. One more land. Poetic land. That's it. I wanted a land. I called for the land because I wanted it. Magic. Ugly day. Ugly draft. That is. Day's not over yet. Let me update this. All right, and it's a good time to take a break anyway. I have a Card Kingdom announcement to make. So hold on a second. Give me one moment here. That sucked and did not feel good or fun at all. So those of you who don't know what I'm doing over here, I'm messing with my spreadsheet where I track all the results, good or bad. Show you my settings for what system? Are you talking to somebody else? Ah, I didn't know that, Matt Olaf. Matt Olaf is involved in what I'm about to talk about, but I still need just 1 second to really get it where I want it to be. I gotta do this. Okay, here we go. This is what I want. I'm gonna pop this up. Where's this? That's in downloads. So I gotta attach this. I'm gonna send out a tweet and then we'll talk about it, okay? But here, actually, I'll bring this up on screen for you while I am working out my tweet so you can take a look as well. Hold on. All right. So this is what I'm working up a tweet about that we can talk about in a moment. All right, add images or video. Download. There we go. All right, make sure I have the right accounts tagged. All right, let's tweet that. Retweet that. Okay, thank you for your patience as I get my act together. Now I'll come back to you and say, okay, so my sponsor, Card Kingdom, is doing for the second year a what they're calling a designer draft. It's effectively like a master's set for a retailer. So you know how Wizards of the Coast will combine previously printed cards in different cool new ways to create a draft experience, usually to get certain cards out into the marketplace, but also to really try and create play experiences for players around getting cards to them. So Card Kingdom has taken a step in that direction now for the second year in a row with this Lumeria project. So they have made it's a standalone product that you buy and get a box of pre-made boosters for you to draft with. And I did have a question that I sent out to one of the designers. Hold on, I'm going to get an answer first before I continue. So one of the things I wasn't sure about is whether or not you were getting if all of these boxes are 100% identical, like down to the pack level, if they're identical. And but the answer is basically no, that they mimic what a normal pack distribution from a set would be like. So you should get a rare and some uncommons and some commons in every pack, and they're going to be from a fixed range of cards, but it's not like every Lumeria experience is exactly the same in terms of its pack makeup. So I thought that was something I wanted to clarify to make sure I understood before I was talking about it. But I'm looking forward to this. I like it's a great project to do. It's fun it's kind of like building a cube of sorts, but it's building a cube by making a set, if that makes sense. Like a cube is just, 540 cards that you make into packs, full stop. But this is not that. This is like more like there's rarity. In a cube, there's not rarity. All the cards in a cube pack are effectively of the same rarity because they're unique to that cube. This is not going to be like that. You're going to have commons, uncommons, and rares. And let's take a look at the cards being used and see if we can get an idea for what is up with the with where they're leading us. So we've got Banalish Marshal. So it looks like White Weenie is probably a thing in the set, because that's a heavy white commitment that they're asking, and it gives a bonus to all your other creatures. So that usually is an indicator of like a mono white or a White Weenie strategy. Drowned Secrets, this is pretty telling as well. Whenever you cast a blue spell, target player puts the top 2 cards of their library into their graveyard. That suggests like that a mill strategy will be viable. Oh boy, Card Kingdom, I hope you did a better job with the viability of your mill strategy than Wizards did in Eldraine. We have Dread Presence, M20 Bomb. So this actually wants you to play a lot of swamps as well. So maybe they're kind of moving, pushing the mono side a little bit as well. Certainly you don't want to play this if you're not playing a ton of swamps along with it. It's just kind of generically good though. I don't know what kind of build around I see here. We have a Titan of Eternal Fire, 5 and a red for a 5/6 creature giant. Each human creature you control has red. This creature deals 1 damage to target creature or player. So human must be a human sub-theme. Maybe that's going on with the white side of town with the human knight here in Banalish Marshal. But it's very specifically human, so it makes me think there's some kind of human sub-theme going on, in red at least. And Yeva, Nature's Herald, 2 green for a 4/4 legendary flash creature. And you may cast green creature spells as though they had flash. So, flashy green, maybe. I don't know if that's just a good card that happens to be there, or whether there's some synergies around there. But I'm interested to see what other stuff gets spoiled this week. And I'm interested in giving this a try. And if you want to buy a copy of buy a box of Lumeria for yourself, that goes on sale December 9th, a week from today. So keep that in mind for your holiday magic entertainment. I've just been yammering here. I haven't looked at chat. So now I'm going to take a second to catch up on chat, see if there's anything, any questions you all have that I can answer.